Hi everybody, Russ Lewis in the KHOU newsroom just after 2:30 on a Thursday afternoon. Hope you're having a good one out there. We appreciate all of you watching here on our digital platforms. Looking at the stories that you're clicking on our website. One of the big ones today, giving an update on this one, an Arcola police officer has been arrested for a second time and charged again. The Fort Bend County DA's office has charged Hector Ruiz with 2 more counts of sexual assault and official oppression. Investigators say that a second victim has come forward, told them that Officer Ruiz had given her a ride home after the victim's boyfriend had been arrested for DUI. This was back in August. And once at her home, she says the officer then forced her to engage in a sexual act. Officer Ruiz already charged with sexually assaulting another woman during a traffic stop. This second victim came forward after the first one was publicized, and the DA's office suspects there are more victims out there still who might come forward, so they're not ruling out more charges filed against Officer Ruiz. If you have any information about anything involving him, call the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office. Another story we're following, this is a sad one for Astros fans. One of our favorite players is headed out of town. Jake Marisnick, yes, the outfielder, has been traded to the New York Mets. He is off to New York. How about that? He'll be leaving Houston, and the Astros will get 2 players in return, a left-handed pitcher named Blake Taylor and an outfielder named Kennedy Corona. Marisnick, 28 years old, just wrapped up his 6th season with the Houston Astros. Liked him a lot. He had a lot of spectacular catches like that one right there. We wish him well. Wish he didn't have to go, but that's the unfortunate thing, right, about having successful teams. Other teams, not so good, want your players, and you can't keep them all because you can't afford to pay them all. So we wish Jake well, and hopefully he has success, not too much success, but has some success with the New York Mets. Okay, well, that's National League. He can have all the success he wants till they get to the World Series. Let's check in on the weather right now, and David Paul is watching something rolling through here, David, but doesn't sound like it's going to change things up too much for us.
Yeah, it's going to be another cold front. It's going to come through overnight tonight. I think right around sunrise, maybe a little before sunrise, we'll get a north wind. We have a south wind out here right now, and it's warmed things up a little bit. Also, the clouds have thickened, but no rain out of these clouds. This is Galveston, some mid and high level clouds. Beautiful afternoon in Galveston. Not exactly a beach day, but it is nice outside. And that's the deal. This frontal boundary, this system coming through tonight is not going to do much of anything except open the door to more cool, dry air coming in here the next 3 days, in fact. So Friday, 58 in the morning, 66 in the afternoon. It's going to end up being a very lovely fall day in Houston tomorrow. It's cooler tomorrow. So we're in the 70s right now. We'll only be in the 60s for highs tomorrow. It'll be about 10 degrees cooler tomorrow than it is outside right now. Saturday's gorgeous, 51, 66. Sunday's beautiful as well. We get a south wind on Sunday, 52 in the morning, warming to 70. It's going to be a nice day, good for tailgating. I don't expect any rain out there. In fact, if you are tailgating, it's Texans Broncos. It's Texans Broncos on Sunday, and it should be a beautiful day for tailgating. We'll start in the 50s and 60s. We'll end up with a high near 70 in the afternoon. It's mild outside right now. Bush 74, Hobby 74, Pearland 75, south breeze. Texas is the warmest state in the nation right now. The rest of the country is chilly. You can see it's right in the middle of the country getting a warm up. It won't last long. We're going to get some of that cold air that's in Denver coming through here tomorrow to cool things off again. I have been watching this cold air that has been expanding and intensifying in northern Canada. Old Crow, 37 below, the 1st of December here, first week of December. That is unusually cold for Old Crow. Kugluktuk is 13 below. Yellowknife is 17 below. Churchill's really hit the deep freeze today. They were much warmer. They're 18 below as we head into the afternoon. And I'm taking a closer look at this, and so where is this bitter cold air coming from? Because it's not coming from Siberia. Quite often when it gets this cold up here, it's Siberian air, but that's not what's happening. Oh, at the South Pole, it's 17 below right now. I told you I was working on it. All right, so here's my, whoa, okay. Work in progress on that one. Old Crow's 37 below. So this is actually coming from the North Pole. See these winds coming in from the north? That's a surface wind coming all the way from the North Pole where Santa is, And that's where the cold air is coming from. The important thing is that now that it's in place here in northern Canada, it's accessible for the next dip in the jet stream. And we think that that is going to happen next week. So there's where that cold air is located right now. There's Texas, just to set your bearings. We have a jet stream wind overhead moving west to east. We're zonal. That's a mild flow, and that's what we've got outside. It's mild. What we need is a big dip in the jet. And we're going to get it next week. We put this in motion. The first thing that happens is on Sunday, Saturday and Sunday, jet stream kinks and a big ridge. It reaches up into northern Canada and Alaska. So that's going to grab that cold air and begin the process. See, then the flow is now out of the north into central Canada. So that will begin the process of opening the door for the next round of cold air to come south. And then next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, see the jet stream pattern? Look at that reaching all the way up to the North Pole and then down across Canada and then all the way down into the U.S., all the way to the Gulf Coast. So that will be the next injection of Canadian air. This will be modified Arctic air. It will get cold. There'll be lots of freezes across the middle part of the country next week. I don't know if we're going to freeze here in Houston next week. Some of the models have the really cold air, the freezing air, going a little further east this time. Last time in November, it came right down the front range of the Rockies, right into Houston. We had those freezes. But it is going to get cold, and I am going to put lows at least in the 30s for next week, and we'll see how it plays out. As far as what's happening right now, we have high clouds. It's a beautiful day here in Houston. You can see the high clouds streaming overhead, west to east. Remember I showed you that jet stream over Texas right now is zonal, west to east. See that? That's our little system. That's the one that hit LA yesterday. Denver's got some light to moderate snow. There's rain out here in the plains, snow in the foothills. This system has been weakening ever since it hit the west coast a day and a half ago. And it's going to come through here in the wee hours. So that's 3:30 a.m. So there's the frontal boundary coming into Houston before you get up tomorrow. But I don't see any rain with it. There's a little bit of rain up here near Memphis, Tennessee, but there's just not a lot of moisture available for this system to rain anything out. You see the north wind behind it? So that will be the biggest change that you'll notice. This will open the door to the next round of cool air, which will come in, and tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be spectacular, cool. Take a jacket with you. We'll be in the 60s, but then as soon as that sun starts to get low tomorrow evening, it'll drop into the 50s and 40s, and it will get chilly going into Friday and Saturday. Like I said, I'm in the middle of working on the models. I haven't put my pause points in correctly. Here's your 7-day forecast. So Friday ends up being chilly and gorgeous, 50s and 60s. Saturday's beautiful. Sunday's beautiful. Texans, come on, let's beat Denver. And then there's a 40% rain chance Monday, maybe a thunderstorm Monday, as that Arctic front comes in. And that will make things much colder going into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s in the morning on Wednesday. Wednesday morning, maybe the coldest morning next week. Everything updated, including all the pause points and my computer model animations on the 411 on the TV side at 4 o'clock. We'll be live and we'll see you then.